Hi everyone, good evening and welcome back to another episode of Thinkly Talks. I have Mr. Satyarth Priyedarshi, the Chief E-commerce Officer at Redington India. Sir, it is an honor and an absolute privilege to have you back for an amazing session where we will be talking about dark patterns on e-commerce.
Thank you, Aishwarya, and thanks to all our listeners, viewers who have taken their precious time on this Thursday and joined us. Welcome, and fingers crossed. Let's hope it's really an engaging session for them.
Yeah, I mean, the last session also, I personally reached out to a lot of people who had joined and they really enjoyed it and they could resonate with a lot of things we had discussed, about how things are being sensationalized and, like there's just fluff around us and, meat of the matter is getting lost. So that was, as sentiment that was really hitting everyone's chord. So it was good to know that it was a productive session.
The last topic, I mean, that we picked, we could have done a 4 hour session and we would still, not have said all that needs to be said on that topic. I mean, the media is really going crazy and all businesses are going crazy.
Yeah, that is true. I feel like in today's times you need a little bit of madness to, either stand out or just make a mark. Otherwise, you get lost in the crowd because it's just so much competition around us.
That's partly, I mean, all of these, I mean, so if you look at it, this week's topic that we have picked up, it's not very
Yeah.
far off the mark from the previous one. Uh, Last time when we talked about sensationalization of the media is one of the ways in which media shows its dark pattern. uh,
Hmm.
and that's where, I mean, different businesses show it in different ways. And so both the topics in my mind are fairly connected. And last week was interesting. Last time was interesting. This time, let's try and see if we are able to kind of probe a little bit more and find out more about how businesses work and how we as consumers kind of uh, kind of get taken advantage of sometimes.
Definitely. And who better to ask than an e-commerce guru yourself, right? I mean, you have so many years of experience in this field and you have worked with big giants and, I mean, you've seen everything at least there is to be seen at this point in stage, and when it comes to like business, tech, social media, e-commerce, everything. So what exactly are dark patterns? Like, why did you choose this specific topic?
So this is, first of all, the first thing is, I mean, the instances of dark patterns are kind of increasing all across, and I keep on coming across them. I keep on ignoring them, but then now it has really kind of become ever pervasive. You know,
Hmm.
earlier it was like a few of the smart guys here and there, they would apply something like that, and it's okay. And and now I see that it's like literally maybe somebody has published a book or what. I mean, every single guy out there seems to be deploying this and that, and it became important therefore to talk about it, and that's why.
Yeah, I mean, dark patterns, when you told the topic itself, I was intrigued because, I mean, in my limited knowledge, I was not aware of what dark patterns are. So I did a quick Google, search and I tried to figure out what it is. And I was shocked to know, the pervasiveness that you're mentioning. Like after reading a bit about dark patterns, and then I started noticing the patterns myself, and it's literally you're interacting with it on an everyday basis, and it's so subtle that you don't even realize what it is. That is what is a bit scary.
Correct. And another thing again, Aishwarya, like how we connected the history with today in the last one, this one is
Yeah.
not new. This has
Last
been
time it was yellow journalism, so this
correct.
time what is the precedence for this?
Uh, I mean, it has been around as long as internet has been, so it's not new in that sense, is what I
Okay.
mean. And also, there is, before this happened, like before internet happened, you can say, I mean, it was a regular con game. At the end of the day, what is dark pattern? I mean, it's just manipulation, right? You're manipulating the user into doing something he doesn't want to do. If he doesn't want to buy,
Correct.
he doesn't want to go with you, he doesn't, and it's a plain simple, the oldest game in the book. I mean, it's con. It's manipulation, right?
Hmm.
but being done very artfully and tastefully, where you don't feel bad or maybe just a little hassled or confused, and but the job gets done, right?
Yeah. I mean, manipulation, obviously, when you say the word manipulation, it has a negative connotation. But it's also understated when it comes to dark patterns. Like I said, it's very subtle. It's not in your face. It's, these small little neat tricks that are, interwoven in a website or an app or any brand that you're interacting with. And then, after maybe everything is done, you kind of reflect back and you realize that, Are, maybe I could have not done that. Like I just got tricked into doing it.
So you asked, I mean, it's so ancient. Last time we went up to a yellow journalism, right? That's
Yeah.
where media sensationalism started. That was in 1890s, right?
Yeah.
This one is all the way back to Latin. I mean, Latin in Latin, I think caveat emptor, or if I'm pronouncing it right, but that was the term, which is buyer beware. That means if you're in a marketplace and if you're buying something
Yeah.
in Roman streets, then it is your job as a buyer to ensure that you are not cheated. So
So the
the
responsibility lies with the customer.
responsibility lies, what's the other term that uh, this thing shaming? I mean, if you got your pocket picked, the fault is yours that you showed everyone that you had money in your wallet.
Money.
Uh, that shaming. I mean, so that is what I mean. That's how the thought process was. That if you're getting cheated, it's your fault. You're not smart enough, right? And that is what literally is this in our modern age. That if you're getting cheated, it's your fault. It's dark pattern, you know. So,
I
so
mean,
all of it is same.
yeah, and it's, I mean, obviously the onus lies with the consumer, and everyone, tells you that exercise certain caution before doing a purchase or, something like joining a new job or anything. Like you have to do your background check
Correct.
or your research before you commit to something. But dark patterns
Then there are dark
make it
patterns here also.
difficult.
You want to
Yeah.
do the research, but a dark pattern that is comparison prevention, it will not let you compare things.
Exactly. It keeps putting barriers in your way so that you are, manipulated. Like it's
Correct.
not giving you any leeway to escape this kind of, this inbuilt system that brands have to trap you.
Correct. It will not. So in comparison prevention, for instance, brands will not let you do a like for like comparison. So
Yeah.
suppose you're buying a car and you're comparing based on, say, engine size, wheel size, length of the car, width of the car, right?
Yeah.
So one car will be shown in these four, and the other, the similar purchase for similar model, different ones will be shown with something else completely. So, how different items get surfaced, how different features get surfaced, that
Hmm.
you will actually have to in-depth go and research and study, and then maybe you can find out that what's the different aspect each one of them has. In this happens a lot in real estate. Uh,
Okay.
in real estate, I mean, yes, of course, the metric rule is your square feet or whatever those
Hmm.
rates that are there, right?
Yeah.
And you'll find two properties which have similar rates but different prices. Of course, one has maybe a swimming pool or is in a nicer area or some other aspects that are there, but those aspects will generally be hidden, you know, and you will be kind of pushed into that, this is what it is, or you will not be able to compare when you are going to sites which kind of do these comparisons. Some of them have come up now who have created a yardstick, but still, I mean, it's far from. So there are specific industries also that do it a lot.
Okay. I mean, that's interesting
One of the
actually.
biggest is, I'll tell you, any travel website, hotel booking website, sorry.
Hmm.
Go to a hotel booking website, look at the top of two or three different this thing, and different things will be highlighted. It will not be like for like comparison. In one place, it will be like this place is 9,000 rupees a night because it is queen bed, pool view, flana, whatever, whatever, whatever. The next one, all of those same matrices, they will not tell you that, okay, this is not there. Different things will be shown to you. So now you don't know whether does it have a king size bed or not. Because here you have seen that
Hmm.
9,000 king size bed is there. Does this have? So then you have to go and dig deep, and they want you to work that extra hard. Or if you're in a hurry, or if you are one of those niche customers who doesn't do a price comparison, you will just take the top one and go. You will also find in hotels, specifically in hotel booking websites, they will sometimes make the price look cheaper. Then later on you will find that, hey, in this one they were telling you the price with breakfast, this one was without breakfast. And
Oh
when you are at
yes.
the hotel, then and you're thinking that you got such a nice deal. This was a 9,800 rupee room, and you got it for 7,000 for double occupancy, and then you realize that the breakfast is not there. So essentially, it turned out to be more expensive than that 9,800 room that was there. So I mean, so it's a very very. I mean, it has evolved into an art now. I mean, these things, and all of us as customers have faced this. I'm sure when you booked a hotel, you have seen some of this happen to you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's called bait and switch, right? Like they show you a false price, and then when
No,
you
that
click
is
on it,
different. This one
okay,
is
so this
comparison
one,
prevention. So what will happen is you will first of all say, suppose you are looking at an expensive hotel room. You will
yeah.
look at a particular room which is 9,800. Okay, which
Hmm.
has king bed, which has something, something, something. Okay. They will again show you the same photograph. They will show you this one is 7,200. Okay. It has a
Hmm.
king size bed, and some of the few top line items will look same. Okay. They'll not give you any more information. You will think, okay, this one looks better. They will tell you this one is sea view, this one is pool view. You will think, oh, maybe because of that there's a price difference. Anyways, I am getting a king size bed and whatever for 7,000. What they will miss out is that in the 9,800 one, actually it was 9,800 because it had breakfast. This one did not have breakfast. So you would not be able to compare between two of them like for like, right?
Yeah.
So, and you will check out with something thinking you got a better deal, and then later on you find out that it was not a better deal actually. So that would be, I mean, comparison prevention.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, I myself have faced that so many times, whether it's booking a hotel or even a flight or anything. I mean, this deception is just normalized to another level. Like everyone around me, also, if I mean, the prices are always jacked up, and if we have to make bookings, we always have to make bookings in
Prices
advance,
are not
and
always
it never
jacked up.
works out.
The prices are always slashed through. I yesterday I bought a US this UPS for my router. Okay,
Okay.
70% off. Even the MRP says 4,000 rupees. You know, and then I went into an online and local store. I found that that is actually what is it is being sold at. So the prices are not jacked up, they're slashed through now. We are in a different age. Everything is 50,000 rupees, but at a 70% discount.
I've always wondered. I mean, this is like the oldest, cheapest trick in the book, right? Where you trick the consumer into thinking that they're getting a better deal than they're signing up for. And the jacking up of prices that we are talking about, where, like as you said, the MRP was literally what you ended up paying for. But on the website, it showed like maybe two or three times the higher the amount, right? So, can brands arbitrarily charge something like that, or they can claim anything like this? I've always
They, they,
wondered.
they can. So they can because uh, the MRP that you put out, say, see, if you put up a larger MRP, you don't have to pay tax on that MRP, right? You have to pay the tax at what is the price that you sold at. So MRP is maximum retail price.
Hmm.
Believe me. It's not
Yeah,
the
correct.
minimum retail price. It is not the exact retail price. It is not the subscribed retail price. It is the maximum possible retail price. You cannot charge more than that what is written, but you can always charge less. And this is the legal loophole that gets exploited. So, I mean, but there are some places where it's difficult to do, where
Hmm.
because of, say, industry standards, for instance, in retail, physical retail, if you list a product, uh, the MRP of the product is where your margin will be calculated at. So if suppose the same example, and
Yeah.
that's why you will find offline retail does not have this kind of crazy tactics. So most of the offline retail works on this principle that if a product is 100 rupees MRP, their share of the profit will be, say, 35% of that 100 rupees. Okay,
Hmm.
whatever is the MRP, they will calculate uh, their profit on that 100 rupees.
Okay.
Now, if you take a product to them that is actually secretly you want to sell it for, say, 65 rupees, okay, but you've taken it to them at an MRP of 200 and you want to give an 80% discount, they'll say, okay, you give the discount, no problem. But I want my 35% on 200 rupees, 70 rupees will come to me, rest whatever you do, whatever you want to do. And this is something that is an age old practice. It is more traditional than modern, and it still remains. So therefore, a lot of D2C brands you will not find offline. This is the reason, because you can't maintain that price parity. Then you will have to fix a price which will be same online and offline, and then you will have to go and kind of give 70% discount on that, because unless you give a 70% discount, people will not think that they're getting a deal online. So that's why D2C brands stick to D2C, and some of them are now trying to come into the physical of
Retail
retail,
space.
yeah, retail space. But then they have either they are doing it by creating new products for offline and new products for online, so that at least the distinction is there on a product level, and so on and so
Okay.
forth. So we digressed a little bit, but I hope, I mean, it helps understand some of these things.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting actually. And, like you corrected me when you said it's the comparison prevention. So bait and switch, honestly, when I was reading up about it, is similar in a
Yeah.
way because they, generally they have like a false price advertised where it's like 60% off and it's a heavy discount. And then when you click on that link, the product is either out of stock or it's priced higher. And then what these guys do is they show you an alternative which is obviously more expensive than the product you were looking at in the first place. So they're like, oh, this is not there, why don't you go for this? And then you are tricked into believing that, okay, fine, like, I'll just go for this, ye to hai nahi abhi karke.
There, 10 years ago, when e-commerce really started,
Yeah.
we had these instances where people would be selling laptops. On one website, the laptop is say 100 rupees. On
Hmm.
another website, the laptop is at constantly at 90 rupees or 90,
Constantly. Okay.
constantly at 90 or 95 rupees. I'm just giving an example. Of course, laptop can't be 100 rupees, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And and then I was like, okay. And then we went and found out, and we realized that the laptop is actually supposed to ship with a charger. So the 100 rupee price was with a charger, and some smart Alex, and the charger was supposed say 7%, 7 rupees, or charger was 7 rupees or 10 rupees worth of charger.
Hmm.
And these smart Alex were removing the charger and they were just shipping off the laptop at 95 rupees and making margin over there also. So when the customer will get, what is the first thing that you try? You want to plug in the charger. There's no charger, right? And same thing has survived in many, many ways, where some essential part of the product disappears. It might be a charger, it might be a cable, it might be a LAN cable, it might be something essential that makes the product whole, that
Yeah.
disappears, and you assume that it will be there because that is what traditionally happens. But somebody has tried to break it. So you think you're buying X, but you're not actually buying X, you're buying X minus something.
Yeah, I mean, that's so true. And something that started 10 years ago, like you said, I faced that myself when I bought my phone. My
Yeah.
phone is, I think, 2 years old, max 3 years old. And I had to pay separately for my charger.
Yeah.
And, like I again bought my phone during a Black Friday sale because I thought I'm getting a good deal, like this is an expensive phone and I'm getting a lot of savings done here. And the guy just casually says, ma'am, you have to buy the charger separately. It doesn't come with this. And I'm just, I was stumped and I was like, then why am I even buying this in the first place? Like, what is the point? I might as well just pay full price and get everything, right? So it's funny, some they say things are cyclical and it is true. They keep coming back.
So because they will keep on coming back, because human nature is constant,
Yeah.
and human nature is being hacked here.
Oh yes, human nature is being hacked, exploited, manipulated, everything just to push a product.
So I mean, the traditional con game is first build trust and then use that trust to make profits. So the lavish looking website, the nice lettering, good language, happy images, all of that will give you a sense of security that, hey, these look like good folks. So that initial trust is built. Then
Yeah.
there'll be a lot of social proofs, and half of them will be fake social proof, which is another dark pattern. on the website. Social proof is where
Okay.
customer is, touting how great their experience was at this place, this product, whatever they bought, and it changed their life.
Like
Uh,
fake testimonials,
just
basically.
fake testimonials. So that's social proof, right? When something is new, you look around that are other people buying this. So they'll put up a sticky banner that will say somebody is browsing this product right now in Ludhiana, and five people
Oh,
just bought
yes.
this. So these are different kinds of social proofs, right? Or they will show you that 5 minutes ago this product was sold. They will Amazon has started doing that now, where on products, and it is real, maybe
Hmm.
it will tell you that how many people purchased this product in the last month, right?
Oh,
Then it
yeah.
means that all of these are different kinds of social proof that as a customer that tells you that, hey, I'm not the only one. There are other people involved with this product, are experiencing this product, and so it's okay. I'm safe because human nature, herd mentality. There is strength in numbers. If we are
Yeah.
where there are other people and other people are experiencing this and other people are interacting, I'm safe. I can't be the only one that is getting looted here because there's a crowd. I've come with a crowd. So I'm safe. And that's where once the trust gets built, and everything can be bought. I mean, reviews can be bought. Fake reviews are an industry in itself. Fake Instagram can be bought, everything. And then you have built that trust. And then when the time comes for checkout, you know, that's it. At that point, sliced. There are many places
Yeah.
where you don't even have an option. I mean, if you're going to go from Delhi to Chandigarh, or you're trying to go from Chennai to Mumbai, how
Hmm.
many airlines can you actually book with? Two, three, that's about it. The airlines also know that there are only two of us. So you have to go either there or here. So sometimes you also don't have a choice with these dark patterns. So
Yeah.
you
Dark
might be you
patterns.
might be aware that this is not a good practice, but you might not have any choice because
Yeah,
of
they dilute your right to choose, basically. And even the Amazon one that you said, right?
the.
Like, so many people have purchased this, or so many people are viewing this. Definitely not on Amazon, but I've seen that on other websites. I feel apart from the herd mentality, it's also, to create a sense of FOMO that there are so many people who have put this in their cart. And if you don't check out with this product right now, it's going to go out of stock.
I I'm not sure if that now works. There was a time when it used to work, but I don't think we are living in a time of scarcity and people don't get scared that easily because people are also not looking at it in just one place. People are doing comparison all across, people are visiting multiple sites. If it is an involved
Hmm.
purchase means a product that reflects on you, your taste, uh,
Yeah.
or that is very costly. So a house will be an involved purchase, but a makeup or a lipstick might also be an involved purchase. The brand
Hmm.
of cigarette that you smoke might be a very involved purchase because it reflects on you that what are you associating yourself with. So it's not just about the ticket size. It's not about just the price of the product. It's about what the product does for you. And so in involved purchases, of course, I mean, people will not get thrown off so easily. They are looking everywhere before they're buying.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And, sometimes I feel like this feeling, as you said, may not, immediately surface because people are getting smarter, or they are like, we have other outlets to look towards if, yahan par nahi mil raha hai. But when you're desperate, or when you want something, and it's, a lot of people, what they do is they put things in their cart and they wait for the right moment to purchase it. You're either strapped for cash, or you just feel like it's not the right time to buy this, and you want to treat yourself. And then when you finally go to buy it, you see that, it's like there's one item left in stock. That's the message that's flashing in red, and you're pushed to the limits, and you're like, oh my God, I really need to buy this, otherwise I'm going to miss out big time. So, I mean, that's where that dark pattern kind of, it's an enabler. It's,
Tell me something.
yeah,
If you had the power to price, you are running a retail store, suppose, and
yeah.
you have the power to price a product at anything. Of course, lower than MRP, but nothing anyways gets sold at MRP in your shop.
Hmm.
Now you have a product which is say 100 rupees. You've been selling it for 60 rupees throughout. Okay.
Yeah,
And this is the last unit available with you. Will you truly keep the price still at 60 rupees?
definitely not.
right?
From a profit
But
point of view, no.
no, right?
Yeah,
So the next time when you see that one single last product or whatever remaining, check out the discount that has been given on it.
we'll do that. I'll keep that in
Okay.
mind.
That's a very good proxy to tell you whether there is really a scarcity or it is an artificial scarcity.
Hmm, true. But sometimes like I have, I myself have been not victim, but I have played the delay card a lot of times with my wants and needs. I'm like, okay, I don't need this, I don't need this, and something that I do look forward to purchasing at a later date. It turns out that it is out of stock and it's not coming back. Maybe it's a limited edition thing, or
No,
they're
usually
just not bringing it back. They've
I'll
discontinued
tell
it.
you, those are usually things that were imported in a container, uh,
Hmm.
and that lot has run out, and the next container either does not exist because that product is not being manufactured anymore, or the next level or next version of the product has come in. You will find those cases. I mean, if it's a run of the mill regular product, you
Yeah.
know, your dream flour talc, it will never go out of stock. Yeah, the factory somewhere that's churning it out day in and day out for the last 100 years.
Hmm.
So the products that might actually go out of stock might be novelty products, is what we call, right?
Yeah, novelty products. Okay.
Novelty products, fashion products, they follow a season. So with fashion, uh, things are made only to be sold in one season, and once the season finishes, the product expires. For those, yes, it's a possibility. But then fashion, I mean, how many types of t-shirts are out there and how many types of dresses are out there? I mean, that's not the last one on the earth, right? So
Yeah, I mean, again, fast fashion has become the norm, right? So it's interesting to know that dark patterns are also in a way reflective of the culture around us,
correct,
because it's imbibing what is the current sentiment that's running across the society, and it is trying to make these patterns or make a system that accordingly manipulates us into doing these things.
very true.
So
So
brand awareness in a way is, like, it's not sentient, but it's a little meta if you think of it. Like, an algorithm is studying us so carefully.
it's not actually. See,
Is it?
all of us think we are unique, right? You're
Hmm.
unique, I'm unique, we are all unique individuals, right? Correct?
Yeah, everyone is unique.
Everyone is unique, right? And then we go into marketing and we learn the first thing is, dude, there's something called demography. What is demography? Clubbing all people together and saying that there are four types. There are two types of genders. There are these are geographical splits. These are age-wise splits. These are life stage. There these are life stages.
Correct.
All people behave in a particular life stage from a particular social strata in this particular way, and that turns out to be true actually.
Yeah. In a
And
larger
all
sense,
our
we are all fundamentally the same.
Exactly. So we are all unique. That is something that we all need to believe to feel happy and worthwhile and fruitful. But at the end of the day, we are all same. The same medicines work on all of us. The same fashion everybody wears. The same language everybody speaks. The same thought process. The same books. We have all been taught in the same kind of school and curriculum. Every single thing that we have studied in the school up till class 12, the entire country has read the same things. So how different can we be? Yeah. So coming back to, we are all, I mean, humans, and there are some common traits that are based on our own social upbringing, what is good, what is not good, all of these things, right? They have been taught. And as long as there is similarity in those teachings, it can be hacked. And these brands, they try to hack that. They will try to, and it's not always, I mean, there are
Hmm.
some things that are essential before you can be hacked in that way. There is trust that needs to be there, or else you would not reach the checkout journey, right? So
Yeah.
you trust the brand, you understand something about the brand. That is point one. Second, even when the dark pattern appears, and there are many things that can happen in the checkout journey, right? I
Yeah.
mean, once you have added a product to the cart and you're trying to check out, you can see many things. Somebody can give you a fake urgency that if you like what you were talking about right now, that this is the last item that is there. It's a fake urgency. It's called fake urgency, where
Yeah.
it tries to create this urgent sense that if you don't check it out right now, that opportunity will be lost, right? There might be forced action that might be thrown at you. that unless you click this or unless you add this particular product, you can't check out, or these two products go together, or
Hmm.
right, or many things. Right now, recently, one of the food delivery companies, which is not listed, yeah.
Just covering your bases.
So one of the food delivery companies that is not listed, yeah, they
Yeah.
somehow got into a tie-up with a bank for a card, and they started sneaking in this cardboard copy in my cart every time, and I order like 2 or 3 times in a day sometimes, every
Hmm.
time I'll order, I'll get this extra card. So I literally I got a stack of these fake cards that they were sending it out as kind of giving me a feel of what the credit card will look like, which was their co-branded credit card. Right.
Okay.
I mean, it was so pathetic. I can't even, but they were doing it and they were adding, and it was nagging. It was really irritating. I wanted to remove it from the card, it will not remove. Then one
Okay.
of
So
the,
they didn't even give you an option to remove it.
no, you could not remove it from the card. Your card, sorry. Yeah. So this fake credit card was being added to my card constantly and I could not remove it. Okay. But
Okay.
again, I'll tell you, Aishwarya, companies and products that need this kind of support and tactic, they never succeed.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
they never
it's
succeed,
see.
and eventually, uh, you won't believe. I mean, there are few companies out there which are like a treasure trove of these dark patterns. So the same credit card story, I'll continue. So
Hmm.
they tried their best. They gave 10% discount that if you become their member, if you take this co-branded credit card, you will get 10% off. And I knew it is not sustainable. A 10% off on food orders, not sustainable. On grocery orders, not sustainable. So they
Hmm.
ran that for some time. And day before yesterday, and then it came out that we will give you cash back in your wallet account. Okay.
Oh,
It was
the
also
old
not
wallet trick.
sustainable. That was also not sustainable. And they did do that for some time. And day before yesterday, the notification came out that the supporting bank has said that now no more cashback in the wallet. The cashback will be deducted from your credit card statement.
Oh.
So now this is a typical bait and switch. When you got into a contract thinking something will happen, and after 3 months, the company just changes their policy because they have written in somewhere in their contract that they can at will.
Hmm.
All of a sudden, you were expecting a cash back in your wallet to buy more things. Now the same cash is being deducted from your monthly statement, right? These are two
Yeah.
different things that are happening, right?
Yeah.
And
Completely two
so
different things.
So this is the dark pattern where you promise something, but you keep the right to change your mind, and then later on you change your mind, which benefits you and not the customer. So classic dark pattern.
In this case, like you said, I mean, you got nagged and you got annoyed by this dark pattern. And you also mentioned that, brands have to establish a certain trust factor. Once they can,
True.
once that is established, then they can start delving into how to use a dark pattern or which dark pattern to go for. But I feel like it's a bit funny to know the juxtaposition of how we are aware, like we are currently discussing some dark patterns that we are aware of, and because we are discussing, there is some amount of trust factor that is diluted. But at the end of the day, ghoom fir ke, in simple words, we do end up purchasing things again from the so-called brand that has cheated us. So
That is the power of
how does that
monopoly.
work out?
Yeah, that is the power of monopoly.
Is it just monopoly, or is there
So
any other human psyche at play that?
I am reminded of this joke that when Henry Ford started Model T, and he said that you can
Yeah.
have this color in this, you can have this car in any color as long as it is black, right?
Yeah.
And if you veer towards monopoly, if you are able to create a monopoly in any market, Aishwarya,
Hmm.
I mean, those customers are screwed because there are things that can be done overtly, there are things that can be done covertly, and you have no choice. That's why all the governments, they want competition. All economics, in economists, they talk about competition. Because see, if you take any product you depend on, suppose you take your glasses that you're wearing,
Yeah.
there's only one company selling it or making it at a price that is affordable or that you're used to. and all the other companies have either been bankrupted or there's a 2x price difference. This company might not have a monopoly in the real sense, but it has monopoly in all the real in all practical sense for all practical purposes.
Yeah.
Monopolies can also exist within a particular demography.
Okay,
For
yeah,
a
that's
young
interesting.
guy, for a young guy, if he's not wearing this sneakers, you know, uh,
Hmm.
he's not cool enough. And within a particular age group, those sneakers might actually be monopoly, close to a monopoly, while the sneaker brand will try to show you that look, in a country, so many shoes are being sold. I am to just 3%, right? Similarly,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I
Actually,
mean,
yeah, it's an aha
I
moment.
mean, we should do one of these things, Ashwarya, on monopoly. I'm telling you, there are
Definitely.
there are companies feeding their competitors, funding their competitors, so that they are not called monopolies. So that there is at least somebody to point at that, hey, it's not just only me in the market, there's that guy also. And that guy is literally dying. His business is not working. And these guys will keep on pumping cash, keep on giving artificial life support, sending engineers their way. They will create a non-profit, and from there they will pull in money, and they will give money, they will give grants to that company so that it stays alive, so that they are not considered as monopolies. I can't even name the industry, because the moment I name the industry, you will know that which is the company I'm talking about. So
I
it
was not aware of this. I mean,
ah,
funding your own competitors to point fingers and get away with it, that's a new low. I feel. It's
it's all fair in business and war. I mean, what's wrong in it? What's wrong in it? You are so good that no other competitors. That is what monopolists' viewpoint is. That I am so good that no
hmm.
competitor can stand in front of me. If they were that good, they would not be crying and going to the government. I am that good, and if I am that good, that means everybody should use my product.
Easy to say that as a business person, yes, it is lucrative, but as a user or a consumer, I mean, obviously, like, you are cheated at the end of the day.
You are. So all of this is woven together, Ashwarya. So you also, so trust is there, but if you don't have trust, but if you have monopoly, that also works.
Yeah,
If you
so
are such a large airline carrier that
yeah.
you have built massive inroads into tier 2 and tier 3 towns where no other airline services,
Hmm.
what do you think? If the government was not controlling air freight, air prices, airfares, people would have been stripped down to their shoes. Imagine if somebody has to go to Gorakhpur and somebody has to go to Ambala and somebody has to go to, Rajkot.
Yeah. No,
So
I mean, the prices are exorbitant even now. So without government capping, I can't imagine how
then
kidney बेचना पड़ेगा फिर.
kidney waste. Look at your transportation. How many players are there? Two.
Hmm.
Everywhere, any industry you go, food delivery, two. Yeah. Any
Yeah,
industry
it's
you
a
go,
duopoly. Even
commerce.
telecom industry, we have two.
Now it is, yeah. But so
I mean,
as long
largely two. Yeah.
two, largely two. So then people can get away with whatever. There are e-commerce companies which will, when you try to raise a ticket with them, suppose they have not,
Hmm.
and it's actually the same company that sent me the fake credit card. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
try to. I'll order bananas. They'll send me crushed bananas. I'll raise it.
Hmm.
They'll tell me that we have taken your feedback. Thank you for sharing your feedback to help make our services better. As
Yeah.
if I paid $50 for your services to get better as a customer. Yeah. So what is this if not a dark pattern? All of these are restrictive trade practices. But again, there are no legal recourses, so people get away with that. The Indian government has created a consumer this
Guideline of
they
sorts.
have given a consumer helpline 1909 1909.
Okay.
Try this out sometime. And they are super responsive, but they don't have any teeth. They will take down your complaint in very good detail against whoever you're complaining. But
Hmm.
the action, nothing. These guys have now made it into a system. There is one team separately set up to only deal with 1909 complaints because they know there will be so many complaints coming in because they are goofing up.
Yeah.
So Aishwarya, now see that suppose a physical retailer, right,
Hmm.
is selling apples at 200 rupees kg, which is called Washington apples.
Yeah.
Okay, 200 rupees kg. You will go. you will check out each single apple before you buy. Okay.
Definitely.
Buy this on this particular grocery, online grocery, which is a 10-minute delivery grocery. Thou shalt not be named. Okay. Okay. And you buy Washington apples and they deliver you 120 rupees chakri apples and you raise a complaint and
Yeah,
nothing happens. What do? How much distance will you go for 80 rupees? Not much.
not
And
much.
what choice do you have? How many 10-minute deliveries are there? Two, three, and all of them are doing the same thing. So then you have no choice out but to live with it. Or so now, but what it is doing is that this guy, by the virtue of a 10-minute quick delivery, is making 80 rupees extra. He sold you something that was 120 rupees, but you paid 200 rupees. He made 80 rupees extra on top of that brick and mortar fellow who's running his shop.
True.
And this they will show tomorrow as profitability. And there is a tremendous amount of pressure on this company for profitability. So you will also see they becoming very profitable very soon. But all of these are bait and switches, dark patterns, forced entries, forced choices, forced actions, hidden costs, subscriptions, trick wording, whatever you, I mean, all of these are being combined together to extract money out of your pocket.
Yeah, and it's really, I was just listening to you and I was thinking like how many times have I faced this kind of an issue? And if I were in that situation, like maybe even I would not go that far. I would just, the natural course would be to give up. I'd be like, छोड़ो यार अभी जो है सो है.
The
That's
thing is, Aishwarya, when you run a business that deals with millions of customers and with millions of data points, you exactly know what is the threshold at which the customer will act or not act. You can actually take it out mathematically from data.
so you push them just enough that they don't completely cancel you, but at the same time, like you kind of trap them essentially. It's like a honey trap.
It's like in negotiation, there is a term called BATNA, BATNA, which
But
is
now,
called best alternative to negotiated arrangement, if I'm remembering it right. But what
okay.
it says is that what is that price at which the customer will walk away? And you just charge a little bit more than that. Okay. Or a
Okay.
little bit under that. So if a product is 100 rupees, but you're charging 150 rupees and at 140 rupees, customer will walk away, you charge 139. Okay.
Yeah.
That is what these guys are also doing. So they understand that at what point, at what money will a customer raise concern. Now, you live in Mumbai, right?
Yeah, I live in Mumbai.
Sorry to bring that out, but in Mumbai, when I moved to Mumbai, the first time I came in 2004, I used to see daily, day in and day out. There was no digital payment. I would see once in a month, twice in a month, humongous fights over 1 rupee that the auto wala has not given an auntie back.
Okay.
Okay, because that 1 rupee change, she needs it back, and the auto wala is like, no change is there. He's trying to give a candy or a toffee or something, and she's having none of it. That 1 rupee was that important. And in a physical world, that 1 rupee is that important. But in a virtual world, it's so easy to steal even 80 rupees because the recourse is very difficult.
Yeah.
If this was a physical vendor who stole your 80 rupees like that, you can imagine how you would behave. But it's a virtual vendor, they can shut you out. They will not pick up your phone call, they will not respond to you on chat, they will put you on a long, never ending queue. One of the largest retailers in India does that regularly. If it is a known vendor with a known problem, you try to reach out to them for that order, they will put you in an endless automated AI-based chat loop. So they will,
Yeah.
and a typical dark pattern, you will go and you will click on customer care, help center. What is this about? They will ask you. Okay. Which order is it about? So you, in your good natured this thing, you will select, okay, this is about this order.
Yeah.
And they will take you on this order and they will give you 4 options, refund, this, that, blah, blah, whatever. But they will not connect you to a customer care representative because they know that this is a problem order or this is a problem area. This is a problem vendor. And they will just refuse to connect with you. No other, very few industries out there can actually do that, where the customer care is inaccessible.
Yeah, and that's also very ironic, because I mean the word customer care is supposed to be like immediate grievance redressal, hearing out your problems, and having an actual one-on-one interaction with someone who knows what we are talking about and can, help us out in any way whatsoever. But everyone under the sun has resorted to AI, or like these recorded phone calls. So it really becomes very difficult to get in touch with an executive, a human executive,
True.
and bring this issue up. And it's very defeating because, like you said, you're put on hold and it never fructifies in the way you want, and then you just give up, and then it's again buried under the rug unintentionally, and you forget about it. You're like, we or you're just defeated and you're like, who'll bring this up again? I'm done. It's like that.
What is being done over there, Aishwarya, is they also know that if they get in touch with you within 1 minute, what is their benefit? Nothing. You will lay on whatever challenge you had on them,
Yeah,
and the ball will be in their court. Versus they make you wait for 7 minutes. Now, 7 minutes is very precious commodity. Our entire lives are planned, things are to be done. And in between, this is something that just came, that you were not expecting to call up a customer care and be on hold
correct.
for 7 minutes and 10 minutes and 30 minutes. But all of these ways are soft negations. One way is they will not let you connect. Another way is they'll make you wait for 30 minutes. They know how much volume they expect. When somebody on a customer care tells you we are experiencing high call volumes and all our agents are busy, your call is important to us, please hold, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that business does not know how many call volumes are they going to expect and how many customer care agents to keep?
I mean, there is awareness. There is no execution on their part. They're playing the
It
oblivious
is
card.
deliberate.
Yeah,
So, so many times what happens is we think that, it might have happened. Today, a lot of people might have called, you know, but that's
yeah.
not true. They exactly know how many people they need because they have planned that entire business. If they have kept a call center to
Hmm.
service you, and call center is very expensive, that means whatever you bought was very expensive, and they made a lot of money on it also. So
Yeah.
they know how much, how many calls will come and how many people do. All of these are again ethical. These are ethical challenges.
It's, if you look at it in a way, the system is kind of broken. I mean, if something like this were to happen in the US, there, the laws are stricter and people are more, you know, I would say proactive in terms of just filing a lawsuit against anyone who has wronged them, whether it's a brand or a company or an
Yeah.
individual. So, contrasting such a situation with that of India, where we don't have any legal recourse, which is, I mean, we have some guidelines. I was researching about it. They were released last year in November, but they are guidelines. It's optional, it's not strictly enforceable. And there are so many loopholes that have been exploited, are being exploited rather, that, even thinking of a legal recourse for us is very tiring. It's cumbersome in nature, and you're just like, I'm going to spend more money in legal fees and I will in recovering that amount or getting this issue solved. So these soft negations, I feel, have a bigger impact. They lead to bigger negations, and there is a, at the back of the consumer's head, there is a sense of defeat always. Like, I just can't help it. I have to get stuck in this system, and it is what it is. Like that, मेरा कुछ नहीं है, exit नहीं है इससे.
my मुंबई का टिपिकल है, अभी जाने देना, क्या करेंगे? you know this is a typical, well, this is where it is actually appropriate to use, अभी जाने देना, क्या करेंगे? तो क्या करेंगे is actually, I mean, it's so embedded in life, right? क्या करेंगे?
Yeah, and you are just like, there are bigger problems to worry about. ठीक है, this is minute compared to other things that I'm dealing with. बाद में देख लेंगे. ऐसा वो खुश हो जाता है.
But actually, if you see, there are crazy people out there who fight it out. And you'll keep on hearing some court cases, consumer court, जहाँ पे penalties were this thing. Abhi recently somebody was awarded 10,000 rupees for, in Chandigarh or somewhere, he was awarded 10,000 rupees because the company charged him for a bag on which there was a branding of the company. So the law is that if the carry bag is carrying the branding, it should be given free. The customer cannot be charged for a branded carry bag.
Oh, okay.
No, because then you are promoting essentially. So, and so there are many such. Uh, and on the America point that you said, America is
Yeah.
prestigious. That is true, but also America may people can take that up because there's a provision of punitive damages that does not exist in India, or at least does not exist in
Hmm.
that sense. मतलब यहाँ पे you will see that the guy has murdered two people and whatever, and the punitive damage on him would be like he is supposed to submit 25,000 rupees in the court,
Hmm.
something like that. But in America, I mean, if you see a recent case, Johnson and Johnson, right,
Hmm.
made baby powder that
Asbestos.
proven asbestos. That was proven that it causes cancer, not exactly directly asbestos, but something else. Okay, and it was proven that company went bankrupt. Or again, I wish things were so simple that I could just say they went bankrupt, but no, they removed all their assets to other sister companies and emptied that company out, and then they went and declared that company as bankrupt.
Hmm.
Right? Because the damages were so large that the company had no other choice. Company found a way in which it could exit hassle free,
Yeah.
but still, next time they would put in a lot of mind before they do something like that, even though they might have gotten away scot free. Here, there's no concept of punitive damages. Here, Bhopal gas tragedy happens where 16,000 people die. The guy takes a plane and goes away, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm saying the system is broken.
Here, it's the other way around. Here, people, Nirav Modi and others, they take the money and they flee rather than, we being able to extract money out of them and they going bankrupt. You know, so
They are robbing us more and getting away with it.
so that's because the law here works in a different way, and it's for those reasons. I mean, it has
Yeah.
a social angle also. Court kachehri ka chakkar, you know, police coming to your house has a social this thing. Police is the
Stigma.
stigma. Police is not. I mean, if you go to US, Japan, any of these advanced countries, police is your friend. They are supposed to help you in a jam. They are the people you
Mm.
call when you need help. You call
Yeah.
911, police will come and help you. Right? Here in India, you don't call police for help. You call police to punish somebody.
Correct.
Yeah. The process of the law here is the punishment. Then there is separate punishment.
Okay, Satyarth. So we'll take some questions that have come our way.
Sure.
Last time you had expressed interest in a couple of questions that you think you can
Sure.
answer. Okay, so we have quite a lot. So there's one from Vinita, and she's saying, "What are some alternative strategies companies can use to increase sales without using dark patterns?"
I should have covered this actually. That why do companies use dark patterns? Of course, to get revenue and revenue proxies. So revenue is money, and revenue proxies something like data, something that can be used to make money. That
Okay.
also follows dark pattern where companies might get your data and under false pretenses. Vinita, honestly, it depends on the kind of industry you are in. Every industry has its own secret sauce. But what is common amongst all? I mean, it's a very wide question, Ashwarya, so I might not be able to do justice. But
That's okay. I mean,
first thing
some
is
basic answer maybe that can apply to
the
a
first
general set of companies that we interact with.
see, increasing sales is dependent on two things: the product quality and the price of the product.
Hmm.
The product quality is something that only you influence, or you know what the product quality is because that's a conscious choice, right? So if the product quality is good and the price is good, it will sell.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, I mean, I'm assuming that there's a market need and demand and everything. Okay. Now
Yeah.
follow me, follow the logic. Okay. The product quality is good, then the price is the question. Price is an outcome of what is the cost that you have put in the product. And the cost therefore becomes the fulcrum. So if you want to sell more, you will
Hmm.
have to make the product good quality and price it really well. And to price it really well, you cannot have extravagance. If you are running a business, make sure that your business only spends on things that your customers will pay for, because every single thing that your business is spending on, directly or indirectly, it is getting added to the cost of that product, and that product is something that the customer has to pay, and the customer is paying for that product for that product. Understand what I'm trying to say?
Hmm.
So build a good quality product and make sure that your costs are in check. That leads to profitability. And after that, then there are I mean, it's an entire MBA, right? That question itself is how to sell more. It is, I mean, that's what we do in MBA. But these are the two things you start from if you're building a business. Build a good quality product and keep the
Price it
cost
right.
to a minimum. That's it. If you do this, the rest, everything will follow.
Okay. Uh, so we have one question from Sudarshan. Fake reviews are such a menace on websites like Amazon. How do we try to gauge if a review is fake or genuine? So this circles
Nowadays,
back to the fake testimonials point.
and there are websites out there that actually, if you put in the Amazon link, they will go through it and they will try to tell you whether the review is fake or not, or how many of these reviews are fake. I can't remember it offhand, but there is a website that does that. But again, that was a thing of yesteryears. With the generative AI coming in, the responses and reviews are becoming better and better and better. Again, the reviews themselves are not being posted by bots. Amazon keeps on working on that. Flipkart and other companies keep on working on that. So that is becoming, that's a uh, वो चोर पुलिस है. That's this thing. It's
Yeah,
the fake reviewers will find another way to post, then companies will find way to block, then another, and so that keeps on going on. But the quality of review itself used to be bad, and it used to be very easy to discern when somebody has kind of used fake reviews. Abhi wo quality maybe there's a tremendous amount of change, and
hmm.
reviews are looking genuine day in and day out. And also what has happened now is that in fake review industry, China say it started, now it has reached India also, where now there are farms and farms of people who are kind of sitting and doing nothing but fake reviews, fake likes, and there's an entire industry operating. There is now specialized software also built for this.
Yeah,
So
just for engagement.
just
Like,
for engagement, so it is becoming very difficult now to just read a review and say whether it is fake or not. And so therefore go with other things rather than just written review. Go with the videos that are posted, that are images that are posted. Try to check out on multiple websites, because what happens is that the fake reviewers generally focus on the larger websites and they leave the smaller websites out. So go
hmm.
and hang and check the review on the smaller website. Try to see review aggregators, which can also be hacked, by the way, like Trustpilot and others, but try and see what they say. Never trust an Indian review aggregator. I will not name it, but it has been around for more than 10 years because they take money and they tweak the review. So,
Okay.
yeah, you should not. Indian review aggregator more than 10 years. So don't trust them. That's about it. That's all I can let go.
Okay. Uh, there's one more question from Shyam. What role do you see emerging technologies playing in the fight against dark patterns? I mean, AI, as you
Not,
said,
not,
is
not
on the
much.
side of dark patterns right
I'm,
now.
I'm, I'm pessimistic on that. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Kashyap. See, a knife is a knife, right? You can
Yeah.
wield a knife, I can wield a knife. Technology is a knife. Depends on who uses it, who has the money to buy it. Now, big companies that are using dark patterns, they have the money to buy it and they have the money to sharpen it also.
Hmm.
We as consumers, do you have the capability to buy the new technology, or make it work for you? Not so. There are few companies that have actually come in. I should mention Cred, maybe. Cred
Yeah.
is one of the companies that there is a tremendous amount of dark pattern in credit card industry, right? I mean, that industry is literally built to, waiting for you to fail, wishing for you to fail, and then, to swoop in and kind of, you forget one payment and that's it. That's where they make money. So,
Hmm.
and Cred has come in with a business model that actually is anti of that, which is very smart. So Cred in a way is batting for the customer. So Cred,
Okay.
if
I
tomorrow
see.
uses technology, if tomorrow Cred uses technology, it will be for customer and not against customer, right? But
Hmm.
some of these large businesses uh, I'm not very hopeful. I mean, the things that they will use and the way they will use it, the way they will analyze data, the way they will know more about you than you don't have the same thing about the company. The company, it's a one-way relationship. Please trust me, it's not a relationship of equals. The company knows about you. You don't know anything about the company because company is behind a law, secrecy, and everything. And you, on the other hand, have clicked, I agree, I agree, I agree, kabul hai, kabul hai, and you have given everything that you had to the company, right? After
Yeah.
that time, it's not a relationship of equals where you think that, uh, whether you will have the upper hand. Not very hopeful on that.
Okay. One last question. There's one question from Lavanya where she's asking any examples of deceptive design tactics in e-commerce. We see a lot of copy manipulation, you know, like the out of stock or it's running out, fake urgency, as you said. But are there any design deceptive patterns that, it may not be discerning to the layman's eye at a first glance?
I'm trying to think. I mean, because see, I'll not call it. The moment I heard design, dis,
Deceptive design tactics.
deceptive design tactics, right?
Yeah.
So, apart leaving aside copyright and other things,
Hmm.
like things that are protected by copyright or IP. For instance, if
Hmm.
you just make a when we were kids, in rural areas, you would find brands called Tota Salt, TOTA, and the packaging would be exactly same as Tata Salt, and you would have a Bajaj bulb, BOJAJ, and the packaging would be same as Bajaj bulb. So I'm not taking these kind of examples, but besides that, there are many. But primarily, see, again, it's a matter of trust and then how you leverage that trust to cheat you. Like,
Hmm.
once you trust me. So, for instance, take the color green, right? The
Yeah.
green color is used to showcase greenery, ecosystem. The products that are the worst for the environment, they will use maximum amount of green in them. Because the moment you look at it, it's pleasant and it looks as if at least they are doing the lip service of being environment friendly, right?
Greenwashing, as they say.
Greenwashing, exactly. So greenwashing also happens in design and happens via design. Okay.
Hmm.
Then that is visual design that I talked about. Then
Yeah.
there's packaging design. Uh, Companies would be selling you a bar, a chocolate bar,
Hmm.
and they would make the package looks thinner so that you think that you're eating less of it, but not maybe. Or they have actually reduced the weight, they have cut the bar in half
Hmm.
or by 20%, say. है ना? So calories also decrease by 20%. And now they will write it that with 20% less calories. Or
Oh.
they will tell you that it is fat free, while there will be something equally damaging which has been replaced over there. So all of these go into packaging design, where the packaging shows you the product in a particular way, in a particular light. The packaging itself gives you an impression that it's a thin bar, slim bar, but it's actually
Hmm.
not. Or the product has become slimmer, it is less of what you're eating, but you're not, and many, many such things. So it is rampant. I mean,
I think
any
one design I can think of
yeah.
for websites is when you, like, I have faced it when I visit a new landing page, for example, and I've scrolled through it for maybe like 3 4 seconds, just getting a good feel of what this page is about, what this brand is about, and immediately there is this big pop up that comes on the screen, and it's essentially nagging me to join their email subscriber list, and I cannot see any visible X mark to cut that and go back to scrolling. And I have faced that multiple times. It is so faint, or it is, in some obscure corner where you will notice it, but you won't notice it. It's like that. And it's very frustrating. And I end up bouncing from the page. Or I reload it because I'm just fed up. I'm like, no, I don't want to do this.
Very good actually example, Ashwarya, of deceptive design. So that is the part from UI design, right?
Yeah.
So user interface design, and the example that you just cited, it used to be one of the most popular ways for. So before this entire dark pattern thing happened, before
Hmm.
that there used to be something called black hat SEO, search engine
I have
optimization.
seen. Okay.
So a lot of these tactics that are there, they had their grandfather and grandmother, which was the black hat SEO tactic to fool Google,
Mm-hmm.
giving the website a better rank than it is. So right now the websites are trying to fool you as a customer, but when they started, they were trying to fool Google. And one of these used to be what was called white lettering. So what the
Okay.
website would do is the website would give you a snapshot, whatever. Suppose the website is on, say, a recipe of butter chicken, and
Hmm.
it shows you that recipe. You go in and you read that recipe, and you're happy. But what the website used to do would do, and Google then has again, it has been again the same chore police where Google will do something, the other guys will find some other way then again. And so in the earlier example, you will see that recipe. With naked eyes, you will see that recipe because it is with a black font on a white background.
Yeah.
But the developers, if they wanted to suppose rank on all kinds of butter chicken recipes, or they wanted to rank on all kind of Indian recipes or Mughlai recipes, they would
Hmm.
fill the rest of the page with white letter with font size 3 of
Oh.
all 50, yeah, 20 other recipes as well. So when Google comes in, it's a machine. It reads everything in text in HTML. Okay.
Oh.
And Google will think that this is the central piece for butter chicken because there are 20 butter chicken recipes right here on this page. And that page will rank. But you would go and you will be kind of oblivious. There's a recurrence of that now happening with ATS, application tracking systems. So
Okay.
candidates started putting in blank pages in resume filled with white letters just full of keywords for which they want to rank inside a search portal. So you submit a resume. That resume is scanned by the AI nowadays that is employed in all job portals.
Yeah.
It's easier to match talent with whatever keywords appear on your resume and whatever, right? And it's very difficult to weave in keywords into your resume, right?
Hmm.
The candidates would put in one blank page, fill it up with white font mein keywords. The machine will read it. The machine will think, all of these keywords appear on this resume, and that one resume is appearing everywhere on top. So any prospective
Employer.
employer or a recruiter is looking for, say, program manager, and this guy's resume is coming up in program manager. Another is looking for project manager. There also this resume will come up. CEO, there also the resume will come up because so this is called all the so the this thing is called keyword stuffing. Yeah,
Keyword
stuff
stuffing. Yeah.
keywords, and then you make it font white. So these are again, I mean, very known tactics, and they are say design, but they are actually, I mean, yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah. End of the day, they are dark patterns.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
By whatever name you call them. I mean, the end purpose is to, con people, and it is doing exactly that.
It is.
Yeah.
So, any more questions, or we are on time, or
Yeah, I mean, we are a little above time, but that's okay. A lot of the questions, I mean, there have been more, but we have answered most of them while we were discussing a lot of, the sub pointers under this topic. Only questions which I feel like, the design tactics and Amazon reviews and all those things, which didn't, we didn't dabble into that. I've picked those. So,
see,
yeah,
design, yeah, design has multiple levels. One is abstract level. Abstract level is where you use color and shapes, right?
yeah,
So the green washing is one way. There are many other things. I mean, I will put up a certain kind of imagery of a lot of plants and leaves and this and that, and you will think that it is a very natural product, but it might not be. Or I
yeah,
might put in a very large image of an apple, and you will imagine that it has that apple, but actually
mhm,
it might not be because I might just have given 1% of apple in that product. But you
yeah,
feel as if it's so full of apple. Like look at any breakfast or health cereal. This thing, it looks like as if it's full of nuts only. And when you open that breakfast and then you realize what it actually has, right?
yeah.
So
It's
that is
just sugar.
that is abstract level, right? Where you're
Mm.
using art, where you're using colors, and where you're using to communicate. Then the next level is the written, where you're communicating through words, right?
Yeah.
So words are also designed in a way to give you that impression. So one of them is like where you're tricked into thinking, where euphemisms are used, where words are used which actually in normal parlance mean something, but when you read the fine print, something else has been promised. For instance, in one of the larger airlines, if you try to go, they'll try to sell
Mm.
you an insurance which kicks in if your flight is late, and they will tell you like that.
Okay.
That you will pay 80 rupees now, and if your flight is late, we will give you back 700 rupees or something like that. Okay.
Mm.
And in good faith, you might end up buying it. Okay. Because what happens is, unless you have to redeem it or you have to claim that insurance, you know, you will not know. You will keep on buying 80 rupees, 80 rupees, 80 rupees, 80 rupees. And the day the plane will be late, and you will go and you will check and try to claim that insurance, and then they will show you the fine print that actually your insurance policy kicks in only if the plane is late for more than 4 hours.
Yeah, correct.
Right. So these kind of things, I mean, anyways. So right, this topic is endless, Aishwarya. I mean,
Yeah, with so much to cover,
so
but
much.
I
Not
think
even
this
go
1 hour
into
slice has done a good job of at least setting the context for people.
true. I mean, we haven't even gone into darker patterns where, a company that has monopoly, be it a
Hmm.
social media, be it search, be it anything, where the company has monopoly, and they will go, and then once they have reached a particular threshold of
Yeah.
users where you can't leave it. Now, even if you want, you can't quit LinkedIn, you can't quit Facebook, you can't quit Insta, you can't quit Google search, you can't quit
Hmm.
so many other services that have become a part and parcel of our lives. They are as important in our lives as public utilities. They are public utilities for all practical matter, except being run in a private way. That's how you should look at them. And if one
Hmm.
of these companies
Yeah.
tomorrow gets up and decides that, hey, my privacy policy has changed, what will you do? You will deplatform yourself? You will not do that. You will meekly accept that privacy policy. There is no recourse over there. So this
Correct.
bait and switch that you were talking about earlier, that happens a lot
Hmm.
in these terms and conditions kind of scenarios. And there are so many other even darker patterns, mostly on product design perspective, where I can literally assure you I can onboard you on a product at a very cheap price, let you work for 2 years on that. All your hard work and everything is stored in that particular product, and then
Yeah.
I don't let you exit only. After that, what will you do? You'll be forced to keep on using that, right? These are the darker patterns that are there.
Yeah.
Interoperability, which government is working on. Interoperability, uh, like the standards that UPI kind of standards,
Hmm.
ONDC kind of standards, all of these things are actually being built to kill these dark patterns. And it's an awesome initiative, I'm telling you.
I think we should definitely have, a part two to this and discuss the darker patterns. I know you were, completely pumped to discuss that. And I think it's a topic in itself that should be spotlighted. So, and monopoly, like you said, is also something which has such a big factor to play in this. So, definitely our next session should talk about these things.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. And thank you to our lovely audience for sending all the questions. And please join the business and finance community on Thinkly. We keep having a lot of good, amazing, easy to talk to experts like Satyarth who decode things and make it simple for you. And if you have any other questions or any other topics you have in mind that we should cover, please drop it in the chat box. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you.